going to be part 2 of my KTV, CASA, or CASA TV, Kerbal Aeronautics and Space Administration television, where I attempt to run a space program as realistically as possible, as you can expect from a video game. I just try and have loss of life and loss of property be as big of a thing as it would be in real life. So I'm going to try and minimize how much property I lose and try to kill no one. But of course, even the United States wasn't able to do that. So I guess I'm just going to try not to do it, basically. So I started the first one off. I did 5 launches. None of them had humans in them or Kerbals, and they were mildly successful. Some of them crashed back in Earth, and so one limit I'm going to put on myself this time is that the people who have lent us money for this awesome space program have decided that I do need to bring back as much as possible. So I do need to start putting parachutes on even the spent fuselages, even the spent solid rocket boosters. They're going to have parachutes. They're going to have to try and come back safely, at least until I have one satellite in orbit, which is their technology, which benefits them and makes them tons of money if I put that up into an orbit. So, but they will give me one gift, and that will be the SAS system, the stabilization system, which does make it a whole lot easier to get into orbit, because once you're in space and you don't have any kind of control over your aero, because there's no atmosphere, the SAS comes in quite a bit handy. Also, my last video was just about an hour long. Even after I had sped it up, it was about an hour and a half before I had sped up most of the shipbuilding. So I've learned a lot. That was my first time I ever did any kind of Let's Play, so this one I'm going to be a lot smarter. I'm going to explain everything that needs to be explained, and then I'm going to build, and then I'll make it go back to real time, and I'll explain what I built, and then I'll launch and do a little bit of narration there, but then I'll speed up the launch so that it's not that long and hopefully not too boring either. So let's start back where we were. All that being said, project first steps here. Our latest one was 0.5, I believe, which was this bad boy, which looks a lot better. A lot better. I did massive improvements. Like I said, I knew nothing about the game when I started, and so I'd come up with this just abhorrent looking thing here. Absolutely disgusting. So, but this is done. This is finished. It's going into a museum somewhere underground, because I had figured out that the Kerbals are probably mole people, seeing as there's no civilization on Kerbin to be found whatsoever. So, yeah. So we're going to start completely new here, and we're going to start with the unmanned command module, the smaller one. And my very first thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to test the photo cells, because I need it needs to run under energy, and the energy depletes as soon as you get it on the launch pad, apparently. So it needs to charge itself somehow, and that's through the use of the I think this music is kind of loud. Let's see if I can't turn that down. This music is way too loud. Alright, here we go. Alright, sorry about that. But anyway, so I'm going to try and see how the photo cells work. I have no idea how to make these things pop out. Like they just start as like a package looking thing here. So I'm just going to pick one that works for me. I'm going to slap this all together, and then I'm going to fast forward, and I'll come out of fast forward and explain what I learned. Okay, well, I apparently I still don't know too much about the game because I could have sworn that these solar arrays were something, were a stage. You hit the space bar and these things would pop out. So I have no idea what if these things will charge on their own, or if they just pop out automatically once you reach space. I'm gonna go to the launch pad just to see. I mean, I just pretty much put a what do you call it here? Just some fuselages just to hold it up, and some structural components, and then just these photo arrays here that are supposed to charge the satellite. So, like I said, I have no idea what this is, how these work. So I wanted to. My idea here was to just put these on the launch pad and make this stage happen before I let go of this useless stuff. I would never let go of the useless stuff. I would just try and launch these and look at the nice solar panels that are created from it. But I guess that's not how this works. But that's what I'm trying to do here. It's the point of this whole series is me trying to learn how to play this game in a way that I don't look it up. I just learned all on my own, and I try and learn it as if this was my program. So it looks like it just doesn't do it automatically, and I'm not going to release this and have it crash into the ground because that would obviously be quite a waste of money. So, well, here we go. I can extend the panels with just a click. I'll right click of this, so let's do that. This is exactly what I wanted to test. This is why I did this, so this is good. I like this. And does it look a lot like a satellite? I sure hope so, because this is what we want to put into orbit here. I'm going to do it as realistically as possible. I want these photocells to be facing the sun at as much as I can. I mean, I know, I'm pretty sure those are not a part of the actual mechanics. I don't think they have to. Well, it does have a status of direct sunlight at the moment, so that's good. I don't know if it automatically tries to turn. Maybe if I turn the SAS on, it'll automatically try and point my solar rays into sunlight. I have no idea if that's going to work like that, but I like this. It looks very satellite-like. So this isn't actually a launch. I want to try and to make this video shorter. I want to just limit myself to 2 launches per episode. But I'm not going to consider this a launch because this is just me testing out these photo cells here. So I'm going to return back to I'm just going to end this here. You know, whatever. I don't know what these are saying. I don't know why it's saying I went 175 meters a second. But anyway, back to the vehicle assembly station. So we're going to delete all this. That was just a test there. We're going to whip back out our small little satellite. Actually, you know what? The satellite, I mean, the photocell looked a lot on that satellite. That was smaller. I think we're going to try with this bigger one here. And again, my goal, I'm going to put those solar arrays on. I think they worked pretty well from that test. I don't know. There's so many different solar arrays here. I have no idea what the difference is between any of them. So, but I mean, this one says standard, and it charges my, I believe it charges my satellite. This one's a different one here. But no, they take the same charge. So I'm just gonna try and launch. And so this one, my goal is we're getting spacebound. That's my goal. I got about halfway there with my old design, my very last 0.5 first steps rocket. So my crazy theory, whether it'll work or not, is if I double it, I'll get there. So so I'm gonna try and build this now. We'll fast forward it, and we'll see what we come up with. Okay, I believe this is it. Looks a bit ridiculous, mainly because I had to put this connector on here to make this look right, because I had a decoupler that just didn't fit right, and I hated the way that looked on my very first rocket, and I don't really want to do that anymore, even though this adds a little bit of extra weight and drag. But I don't know. Some concerns I have with this rocket is I wanted all these connected so that they can all be saved via these parachutes here. I don't know if that's gonna, when these are done launching, if these two guys will be able to just shoot right out, or if these are gonna mess it all up. These guys don't turn, as far as I know, so I'm not gonna have that issue of loss of control like I had with my 5th launch before. Hopefully these guys will control just fine. And then hopefully these two guys are going to get off, or these guys are going to get us off the ground. These two guys are going to get us into space, hopefully. And then these guys get saved. These won't. These will be a waste. But these guys will get saved. And then all of this comes off, and this is our satellite here, which is going to orbit with again some veteran Kerbal Space Program players might be laughing their ass off at me right now, so I don't know if these guys need this fuel tank or if if any of this is going to work. Oh man, something I just realized is the SAS module is getting launched off this bad boy, so it looks like I'm going to have to save. It looks like I'm just going to have an ugly connection here, because I just realized that would have been some bad news. So yeah, we have that fuel tank that doesn't quite connect to our SAS, but oh well, I need that SAS. It's very important. So this, from here up, is our satellite. From this down is just to get us up there. So we're brute forcing this bad boy. It looks balanced. I don't know if I'm going to need those struts that hold us up on the launch pad. I mean, it's all symmetrical, pretty much. Just in case we don't get to space, of course, there's a parachute on our expensive satellite system. So, man, I hope this works. I strutted this all together, if I didn't already say that, so that it gets saved. We're definitely going to save this bad boy. This is our, oh man, a good title for this guy. I think this one's gonna have to be, man, a good title. I'm always bad with this kind of stuff. Let's say, this one's gonna be KES, Kerbal Explorer System. KES for short. I like that. Alright, let's take this bad boy to the launch pad. Alright, it's a beautiful day on Kerbin at the launch pad. We have the water over there. I'm not going to want to start turning until later, because I need as much efficiency as I can get, just going straight up. So normally I was trying to get our stuff out to sea so that if it crash landed, it didn't land on any of our important stuff here. I'm going to still try and turn a little bit so we can get an orbit going if we do get out, but it's not going to be until further up. I believe 70,000 meters is the lowest orbit we can have. So, I mean, I don't know, I'm going to just play it by ear, which may be a horrible idea, but for the very first portion here, I'm going to turn the SAS on so that this doesn't go completely wild and out of control. Other than that, these bad boys are all going to take us off. They're going to get launched in the next step. After that, I turn on the power to these two bad boys here, and that will also activate the parachutes for those dudes there. Then I launch them and say goodbye, and we have a parachute on that last part just in case. Hopefully we don't need it, but we shall see. This thing has no arrow on it whatsoever, just the thrusters, so it's pretty much just once it's in space I can control it. Hopefully this works. I have no idea, but the throttle is up. 3, 2, 1, liftoff. This does not look good. Catastrophic failure. Oh my goodness. I'm guessing the amount of power there was just way too much for it to handle. This is a terrible day in Kerbal history. Catastrophic failure. No one was injured. We went with unmanned space flight here, but again, we only are going to manage to save this. I can tilt everything here. It doesn't look like the thrusters turn on, but I can tilt this, so that's good. If I need to do that in space, I can. Like I said, the thrusters, whether they're on or off, let's turn the thrust all the way down. And I can still control it, so I learned one thing from this, is that these guys are useless, because I believe I can turn this thrust on or off, so this is going to land safely. And it looks like the parts of those photocells fell off as well, so all I managed to save was my satellite here. No bueno. No good. Alright. Back to the spaceport, and we'll fast forward, and I'll try and build something else. Okay. The only thing I can think of for why that didn't work was because the weight wasn't low enough. So that's what I'm going to attempt now, is to make this weight a little lower. I have no idea why we had such a catastrophic failure. So here's my attempt at lowering the weight. My attempt at lowering the weight. That's all I could think of, is why that was so bad. Let's go back to the launch pad. Cross our fingers. I really hope not to have such a failure this time. I'm going to throttle up. Weight's nice and low. Let's look towards the ocean, which is... why am I all turned around here? Which is this way. 3, 2, 1, lift. Negative. Terrible again. Damn. Oh, there it goes. There's the rocket. Whoop. Creating circles in the sky. Ah, this is depressing. This is very, very depressing. I might have to go back to first steps. I might have to go back to first steps to find out why that worked and this doesn't. Or, the only other thing I could think of is that we just don't put so much power into it all at once. That's the only other thing I could think of. At least I managed to save more. I managed to save my photo cells this time. Oh, I didn't test whether or not I can turn, but I can. And it looks like our photo cells actually hit the ground a little too hard. Let's see. Let's end the flight here. Let's see what it says about the photo cells. Tail fin. That doesn't say. I guess it was fine then. Alright. Back to the station. I'm not going to fast forward this time. I'm just going to do some real simple stuff here. And this is probably going to be my last flight for the day. But I'm going to undo... I'm going to undo these struts. Get that back there. undo the struts. We're gonna throw those away. Actually, we're gonna save. Now that I think about it, we're gonna save. Save these two guys. Oops, well, we'll save these 4 guys, I guess. And we'll call the other ones loss. Our investors are really pissed now, I'm sure. We've put quite a bit of money into the ground now, and we've yet to launch their satellite. But we're gonna make some separate things here. We're gonna have these 4 launches at first. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's make another stage for those guys. That's these 2. And that is these 2. Alright. Then we'll have these 2. And then our last guys here. I really hope this works. I really do. All these guys are all going, so let's get this parachute here. And let's put them in here. I don't think this makes a difference whether these are on top or not, but man, that's depressing. I really wanted to avoid really large failures like that. You know, I didn't want to just have everything be expendable. So having that kind of money crash into the ground really hurts, but there's not much I can do about it. So, well, we haven't decoupled these things right either. So let's get these down here, and these down here. And these above. Not that I'm 100% sure that makes a difference, but regardless, man, yeah, that stinks. That really does. Now I don't even know if less power is the key here. I mean, now that I think about it, I'm not sure, but honestly, this is gonna have to be. I guess this is the nature of the game. I just have to be trial and error with it. I can't be so hung up on whether or not this fails, because there's only one way for me to know if this is gonna work. That's to test it. So your satellite will get into orbit, mysterious moneylenders. I promise you this. I just have to test. I have to test and test and test. Throttle is up. Liftoff is in 3, 2, 1, go. Again, this just does not want to work for me. I only managed to save my parachute. Everything else is gone. Damn. Unbelievable. We're just gonna have to restart that. For some reason I feel like I can control this. For some reason I have to just try. For some reason I feel like I can get this guy where I need it to go. I just have to pull back. I have to pull her back. 3, 2, 1. Oh, SAS launch. Oh, fuck me. That's exactly not where I want to go, into the ground. Come on, come on. Clearly I cannot control this thing. That was bad. I did not mean to do that. Damn it. Well, clearly. Damn it. This whole video is a failure. I'm just gonna have to... Well, I managed to save something here. What's this coming down? Well, these are my rockets. Parts of them anyway. I managed to make it home safely. God. What is that? Just the parachute. Wonderful. That's all I managed to save was the parachute. Absolutely wonderful. Oh, no, not even that. Landed too hard. Blew up. A parachute exploded. How a parachute explodes, I don't know. But I guess that's it. I'm done for tonight.